Greetings, my wonderful friends. Today, I have something truly remarkable to share with you, so I urge you to lend me your ears. For this narrative has the potential to transform your perceptions, conversations, and emotions regarding the English language. There exists a remarkable psychologist who possesses an unparalleled understanding of the human heart. You may be familiar with the timeless tales of Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, Macbeth, and Othello. These narratives transcend mere storytelling. They encapsulate the essence of life, love, power, betrayal, ambition, and all the complexities that define our humanity. His mastery in writing is profound, and his influence is so significant that it has even reshaped the very fabric of the English language. Life would be profoundly different without him. Countless words, phrases, and concepts that permeate our language today can be traced back to his extraordinary intellect. But what journey led him to become William Shakespeare, the unparalleled literary genius of all time? He did not emerge from a lineage of wealth or influence, nor did he attend an esteemed university. Yet, he ascended to become the most renowned figure in the realm of literature. Therefore, if you find yourself grappling with the intricacies of the English language or pondering how to articulate your thoughts, this narrative is crafted for you. Shakespeare himself began as an ordinary boy, much like anyone else. It is a narrative woven from threads of dedication, fervor, and boundless imagination. So settle in, lend your ear, and savor the experience. This will not only enhance your English listening abilities, but it will also ignite your inspiration. On a brisk April day in the year 1564, within the quaint confines of a small English town known as Stratford-upon-Avon, a baby boy entered the world. John and Mary Shakespeare embraced their son with warmth and love, blissfully ignorant of the monumental impact he would one day have on the world. He was known as William Shakespeare. Stratford-upon-Avon was not a bustling metropolis. Rather, it was a serene town characterized by its narrow streets and charming wooden structures. The river meandered gently through the landscape, its waters glistening under the sun, while houses nestled along its banks. In this serene setting, the inhabitants led uncomplicated lives, embracing their roles as farmers, traders, and craftsmen, each contributing to the vibrant tapestry of the community. William's father, John Shakespeare, was a skilled glove maker, renowned for his craftsmanship in creating exquisite leather gloves, which he sold at the bustling town market. His tireless efforts earned him a place of honor and admiration within the community. Mary, his mother, hailed from a prosperous farming lineage. She embodied kindness, strength, and an abundance of love for her children. William was the third of 8 children, and the house was perpetually alive with the sounds of laughter, animated chatter, and the vibrant rhythm of daily life. Yet, William stood apart from the rest. With a sense of wonder, he absorbed every detail: the way people conversed, the sound of their laughter, and the depth of their tears. Unbeknownst to him at that moment, this insatiable curiosity would eventually propel him to become the most celebrated playwright in history. In those days, the absence of televisions, telephones, and the internet defined the landscape of daily life. Individuals found amusement in the art of storytelling. Traveling actors would arrive in town, captivating audiences with their vibrant street performances. Young William observed with a sense of wonder, his eyes sparkling with anticipation. He found immense joy in listening to ancient legends, captivating folktales, and the valiant stories that history had to offer. At the age of 7, William's imagination soared to new heights as he embarked on his journey into the world of school. The establishment was a modest, unadorned structure featuring simple wooden benches and a stern instructor. Yet the lessons imparted within those walls would profoundly alter the course of his life. He immersed himself in the depths of Latin, explored the annals of history, reveled in the beauty of poetry, and delved into the rich tapestry of literature. Latin served as the esteemed tongue of scholars, and William honed his skills in it quite adeptly. He immersed himself in the grand narratives of ancient Rome and Greece, unearthing the profound works of writers such as Plutarch and Virgil. Their words lingered in his mind, igniting the creativity that would fuel the plays he would craft in the years to come. However, William was an avid reader, immersing himself in the pages of countless books, and he possessed a profound appreciation for the beauty of nature. He would meander through the verdant fields, observing the gentle flow of the river, while immersing himself in the melodic symphony of the birdsong surrounding him. He would spend time with his friends, darting through the neighborhood, relishing the joys of childhood just like any other young boy. Yet within him, there resided an intense yearning for words, narratives, and profound significance. Just as the calm settled over the scene, an unexpected storm of trouble emerged. His father, once a revered figure in the business world, began to encounter significant financial difficulties. He had secured a loan to fuel his business ambitions, yet the reality was far from his expectations, plunging the family into a challenging period. Financial resources were scarce, and the circumstances were challenging. There were days when their meager provisions barely sufficed to quell the gnawing hunger in their bellies. William observed the tension etched in his father's eyes, a silent testament to the burdens he bore, while his mother's voice trembled with an undercurrent of concern that resonated deeply within him. He understood that life was a tapestry of unpredictability, yet rather than surrendering to despair, he immersed himself in the world around him, savoring each moment and experiencing every emotion with profound intensity. He came to understand that life is a tapestry woven with both peaks and valleys, a theme he would later explore in the intricate narratives of his plays. From a young age, William exhibited a remarkable talent for language. He would craft charming little poems and whimsical rhymes that danced off his tongue. He had a profound passion for acting, immersing himself in a myriad of roles and captivating his friends with his performances. In the quaint town of Stratford-upon-Avon, the townsfolk were blissfully unaware that this young boy, with dreams yet unformed, would one day craft the most renowned plays the world has ever known. Yet in this moment, he was simply William, a young boy brimming with grand aspirations, and those aspirations were on the brink of leading him to extraordinary places, indeed, to the farthest reaches imaginable. William Shakespeare was maturing at a rapid pace. By the age of 14, he had immersed himself in a vast array of books, absorbed innumerable tales, and witnessed the performances of traveling actors in his quaint little town. However, life was far from idyllic. His father's financial troubles were escalating, and he was beginning to lose the esteem he once held in the community. A businessman found himself ensnared in the relentless grip of debt, a burden that weighed heavily on his shoulders. Once accustomed to a life of comfort and ease, his family now faced the stark reality of financial hardship, their struggles palpable in every corner of their home. Young Williams observed the unfolding events, acutely aware of how swiftly life could be turned on its head. He came to understand that nothing endures indefinitely, not wealth, not prestige, and certainly not the fleeting nature of happiness. Rather than succumbing to feelings of defeat, he embraced a heightened sense of awareness, delved into reflection, and tapped into his inventive spirit. Then an event unfolded that irrevocably altered the course of his life. As William reached the age of 18, he had shed the remnants of childhood. He had transformed into a young man. Like many of his peers, he found himself ensnared by the intoxicating grip of love. Her name was Anne Hathaway, a woman of striking beauty, keen intellect, and unwavering independence. Yet their love story unfolded with an unexpected twist. She was 26, a full 8 years older than William. In those days, it was quite uncommon for a younger man to take an older woman as his bride, yet love knows no boundaries. William found himself utterly captivated by Anne, completely lost in the depths of his affection for her. Then, an unforeseen turn of events unfolded. Anne found herself pregnant before they exchanged vows. At that time, it was a significant issue. Society maintained an unwavering rigidity regarding such matters, and the notion of bearing a child outside the sanctity of marriage was met with considerable disapproval. In a whirlwind of urgency, William and Anne found themselves compelled to unite in marriage, for the weight of potential disgrace loomed over both their families, pressing them to act swiftly. In the month of November in the year 1582, a young William Shakespeare, merely 18 years of age, took the significant step of marrying Anne Hathaway. He was still a young man navigating the complexities of life, and now he stood on the precipice of fatherhood. 6 months following the wedding ceremony, Anne welcomed their first child into the world, a precious baby girl whom they named Susanna. In the year 1585, 2 years hence, Anne brought forth the gift of life in the form of twins, a son, whom she named Hamnet, and a daughter, christened Judith. At the tender age of 21, William Shakespeare had already embraced the roles of both husband and father. Amid the whirlwind of raising 3 children, life seemed to race forward at an exhilarating pace. Yet, a pressing concern loomed large. How would he manage to provide for his family? His father's business remained in a precarious state, and William found himself without a reliable source of employment. He understood that he needed to devise a plan to generate some income, but what options lay before him? He had no interest in following in his father's footsteps as a glove maker. Though he possessed neither land nor title, nor any wealth to claim as his own, he was rich in one invaluable asset: his words. He possessed a wealth of stories and an insatiable yearning to unravel the enigmatic lost years spanning from 1585 to 1592, a period in Shakespeare's life that perpetually captivates the attention of historians. The lost years, a mysterious span of time shrouded in uncertainty, leaving many to ponder what he was truly engaged in during those 7 elusive years. No documentation exists to indicate his employment in Stratford, leaving us to ponder the enigma of how he sustained himself during that time. There are theories that propose he may have pursued a career as a schoolteacher, given his solid educational background. Alternatively, it is also possible that he took on the role of a private tutor for a family of affluence. Some speculate that he might have sought out a traveling theater company as a means to hone his acting skills. There are also those who speculate that he found himself entangled in legal troubles, prompting him to leave town in haste. The tale unfolds with him being discovered while hunting on the expansive grounds of a wealthy landowner, prompting a swift escape to evade capture. Regardless of the true events, one certainty remains. By the time Shakespeare re-emerged in 1592, he had transformed from a mere small-town youth into a figure of considerable significance. He found himself in London, poised and prepared to embrace the challenges that lay ahead. In the late 1500s, London thrummed with a vibrant energy, a palpable ambition that coursed through its streets, offering myriad opportunities for those daring enough to seize them. The heart of England's theatrical landscape thrummed with energy, a vibrant hub where actors, writers, and poets congregated, each fervently striving to carve out their own identities in the world of performance and literature. Shakespeare had arrived in London. Devoid of cash, lacking connections, and inexperienced, he possessed an even greater force, an innate talent, unwavering determination, and an insatiable passion for the art of storytelling. He began his journey in the world of acting within modest theater groups, immersing himself in every nuance, observing the way people conversed, gestured, and expressed their emotions. In due course, he found himself immersed in the craft of penning his own plays. Initially, they were merely light-hearted comedies designed to elicit laughter from the audience. However, as time progressed, he came to the profound realization that he possessed the ability to create something far more impactful. He had the ability to craft plays that provoked thought, stirred emotions, and prompted deep questions about existence. By the year 1592, Shakespeare was beginning to carve out a reputation for himself within the vibrant theater scene of London, yet he was not without his detractors. In a pointed letter, the renowned playwright Robert Greene derided him, labeling him a upstart crow. This phrase conveyed the notion of an obscure individual attempting to present himself as a figure of significance, a critique steeped in the competitive atmosphere of the theatrical world. Yet Shakespeare remained undeterred by such challenges. He resolutely committed himself to his craft, penning an array of new plays, gracing the stages of numerous theaters, and ultimately garnering the admiration of both his fellow actors and the captivated audiences. In the year 1593, calamity descended upon the city. A virulent disease, infamous for its devastation, known as the Plague, surged through London, compelling the theaters to close their doors. As his era drew to a close, Shakespeare unexpectedly found himself without employment. Rather than succumbing to defeat, he pivoted and embraced the art of poetry, channeling his emotions into verse. He crafted two renowned lengthy poems, Venus and Adonis and The Rape of Lucrece. These masterpieces garnered him both fame and fortune, capturing the admiration of none other than Queen Elizabeth I herself. In the year 1594, the vibrant world of theaters sprang back to life, allowing Shakespeare to immerse himself once more in his true passion, the art of writing and performing plays. Beginning in that year, he became a member of a renowned acting troupe recognized as the Lord Chamberlain's Men. Shakespeare was not merely crafting plays for the Chamberlain's men, he was also performing in them. His creations resonated with profound themes of love and heartbreak in Romeo and Juliet, the relentless pursuit of power and ambition in Macbeth, the intricate web of betrayal and revenge in Hamlet, and the tumultuous emotions of jealousy and madness in Othello. By the late 1590s, he had ascended to the status of one of the most celebrated playwrights in England. Yet he was not content to rest on his laurels. His aspirations reached further. He yearned for greater success, deeper influence, and a legacy of timeless masterpieces. And that is precisely what he received with the Globe Theatre, his sanctuary for all matters Shakespearean. In the year 1599, a remarkable event unfolded. Shakespeare, alongside his acting troupe known as the Lord Chamberlain's Men, embarked on the ambitious endeavor of constructing their very own theater, which they aptly named the Globe. Envision a grand circular theater, its open roof revealing the vast sky above, as throngs of enthusiastic individuals eagerly maneuver to secure their seats. The stage is poised, ready to host some of the most remarkable plays in history. This was the realm of Shakespeare, a landscape woven from his aspirations, a dominion crafted by his imagination. At the Globe, he showcased his most acclaimed works, such as Hamlet, a profound exploration of revenge, madness, and the inexorable grip of fate, alongside Macbeth, a gripping tale that delves into the dark realms of power and ambition. Guilt, Othello unfolds as a tragic narrative steeped in the complexities of love and the corrosive nature of jealousy. In stark contrast, Julius Caesar unfolds as a political drama brimming with treachery and betrayal. These plays transcended mere entertainment. They unfolded as profound narratives that compelled audiences to reflect, to feel deeply, and to truly interrogate the essence of life itself. In a relatively short span of time, the remarkable success of Shakespeare elevated him to a position of immense wealth. By the early 1600s, he had transcended the role of a mere writer. He had become one of the wealthiest playwrights in all of England. He possessed a share of the Globe Theatre, a venture that yielded substantial profits each time one of his plays graced the stage. Shakespeare garnered financial success through the sale of his plays and poems, which found their way into the hands of audiences across England. With the esteemed endorsement of the royal couple, it was evident that the king and queen held his work in high regard. He acquired multiple properties, among them an elegant residence in Stratford known as New Place. Amidst the struggles faced by many playwrights striving to make ends meet, Shakespeare stood apart, reveling in a life of comfort and financial abundance. Yet the allure of fame and fortune proved insufficient for him. His aspirations reached far beyond. In the year 1603, a significant transformation unfolded as Queen Elizabeth I, once a steadfast supporter, drew her final breath. With her passing, the mantle of leadership was handed over to her successor, marking a pivotal moment in history. Initially, there was uncertainty surrounding King James's stance on theater. Would he embrace it or bring it to a halt permanently? However, Shakespeare had no cause for concern. King James genuinely appreciated his work. His admiration for Shakespeare's plays ran deep, prompting him to extend a personal invitation to his acting troupe, urging them to perform exclusively for him. Then an extraordinary event unfolded. King James bestowed upon Shakespeare's company a prestigious royal title. They earned the distinguished title of the King's Men, a prestigious accolade that represented the highest honor a playwright could achieve. It signified their official recognition. The actors at the royal court found themselves under the patronage of the king himself, captivating an audience comprised of the most influential figures in England. Shakespeare's journey began as the son of a humble glove maker, yet he ascended to become the most renowned playwright in the annals of England's literary history. In the span of years from 1600 to 1611, he crafted a collection of his finest and most deeply insightful plays. These were not merely tales. They served as profound reflections on the intricacies of life, the dynamics of power, the depths of love, and the weight of loss. King Lear unfolds as a heart-wrenching narrative of a father's betrayal, while Macbeth delves into the shadows of ambition and the ensuing destruction. And then we encounter The Tempest, a tale that weaves its own intricate magic. In a time long past, a tale unfolded, woven with threads of forgiveness and the promise of new beginnings. As the quill danced across parchment, the evolution of Shakespeare's writing revealed a profound transformation, one that embraced a darker essence, steeped in emotion and rich with philosophical depth. With the passage of years, he found himself in the throes of change, aging gracefully while navigating the tumultuous waters of fame, fortune, betrayal, and heartache. His plays, once mere entertainments, morphed into intimate reflections of his soul, and his characters emerged with a vividness that resonated deeply with audiences. By the year 1611, Shakespeare stood atop the pinnacle of his aspirations, basking in the glow of fame, amassing wealth, and earning the reverence of royalty. From the humble beginnings of a small-town boy in Stratford, he ascended to the status of a legendary figure, transcending the boundaries of imagination. A renowned playwright throughout history, he crafted a diverse array of tragedies, comedies, and histories that profoundly transformed perceptions of life, love, power, and fate. He graced the courts of kings and queens, earning not only their admiration, but also amassing great wealth, ultimately becoming one of the most esteemed figures of his era. In the year 1613, Shakespeare astonished all with his unexpected decision to retire. After years immersed in the vibrant world of London, where he poured his heart into writing, acting, and directing plays, a profound sense of longing for home stirred within him. He yearned for the serene streets of Stratford, where the lush green fields stretched endlessly, the rivers flowed gently, and above all, he felt a profound longing for the warmth of his family. He gathered his belongings and made his way back to his grand residence in Stratford, where he envisioned spending the remainder of his days in tranquility. Each morning, he would rise with the dawn, meandering through his gardens, fully immersed in the exquisite splendor of nature that surrounded him. He would settle comfortably by the crackling fireplace, immersing himself in the pages of books, allowing his thoughts to wander as he contemplated the intricacies of his life. He devoted precious moments to his daughters, Susanna and Judith, engaging in heartfelt conversations about life, love, and the future that awaits them. Occasionally, individuals hailing from London would arrive seeking his counsel on matters of drama and verse. However, despite having hung up his boots, his mind remained a whirlwind of narratives waiting to be told. It is said that in the twilight of his years, he would often find himself seated for hours on end, enveloped in a world of contemplation, softly murmuring verses to himself. In the year 1616, an unforeseen event unfolded. On a delightful evening, Shakespeare found himself at a dinner party, surrounded by his friends. The atmosphere was alive with joy, resonating with laughter, the clinking of wine glasses, and the spirited exchange of conversation. However, it wasn't long before he fell ill. There are those who speculate it was a fever that took hold of him, while others believe he may have contracted an illness from the biting chill of the weather. While certainty eludes us, it is worth noting that merely a few days later, his health deteriorated, prompting family and friends to gather close, fully aware that the greatest writer of our time was on the brink of departure. On the 23rd of April in the year 1616, William Shakespeare, at the age of 52, drew his final breath, marking the end of an era in the world of literature. The world has bid farewell to a genius, yet his words shall endure through the ages. In the moments leading up to his departure, he carefully crafted a few poignant lines that would stand as his last testament, foreseeing the possibility of intruders tampering with his final resting place. He composed an epitaph, a succinct poem that served as a stern warning to any who might dare to disrupt his eternal slumber. In reverence for Jesus, I kindly ask that you refrain from disturbing the dust that settles here. Blessed is the individual who tends to these stones, while cursed is the one who dares to move my bones. Even in death, the resonance of his words endures. Upon Shakespeare's passing, a hush fell over Stratford. Mourners congregated at Holy Trinity Church, the very place where he was baptized as an infant, to offer their final tributes. The church brimmed with actors, writers, family, friends, and local residents who had known him since his youth. Tears flowed, prayers were whispered, and they gently laid his body to rest. He lies in the very town of his birth, devoid of grand monuments or ostentatious tombs, merely a humble grave bearing the inscription of his own words. Yet, unbeknownst to all, this marked merely the beginning of his enduring legacy. Though Shakespeare's physical form may rest beneath the earth, the resonance of his words continues to echo through time. His plays continued to grace the stage, his books remained in the hands of eager readers, and his name echoed in conversations far and wide. As the years morphed into decades and then gracefully transitioned into centuries, the essence of Shakespeare continued to thrive, pulsar.